people like me, and like my friend, Carlos. He's a scientist. He's a beautiful man who does beautiful things. I have Carlos on the phone with us right now with some breaking news. Carlos, tell everyone about the huge project you've been working on this past year.
Hi, Kevin. Thanks for having me on the show. So first off, Doug and Alicia are here in my kitchen. Alicia built a refrigerator from some cactus pads, twine, and 3 different kinds of birds. And now they're making a bunch of pasta salad for lunch this week. They'll save some for you if you'd like.
How delightful! I'm totally disgusted by pasta salad. Can't stand the taste or the smell. In fact, to look at it causes me to heave. But thank you, that's so kind.
Right. So this new experiment, and I have to tell you, I am really excited about it. You know how our cell phones always work in this desert otherworld even though there are no towers, and how they never seem to run out of battery?
Yes, I love taking these facts for granted.
Well, I'm on the verge of uncovering what's causing that. Here in my laboratory, which Doug and Alicia and one of the other soldiers whose name is... built for me. I've been hard at work pacing about in front of a row of conical flasks, beakers, and wide tubes, furiously writing Greek letters and Arabic numbers, and I think later today I will make an enormous breakthrough.
What did you find out?
I can't say yet. I'm just waiting on my computer to finish calculating the...
Everything okay?
I don't know. Alicia and Doug look really agitated. They're jumping up and down by the window. The other giant soldiers are running into formation outside. I need to see what's wrong.
Oh, we have Carlos back on the line again. Carlos?
Doug and Alicia are gone. It turns out that the commotion was over another army marching along the horizon. Doug and Alicia ran screaming around the house and through the kitchen, overturning my cutting board and grabbing their weapons. Alicia took my chef's knife, and Doug made a makeshift slughorn out of one of my large funnels so that he could call their army to action.
Good for them, protecting our community.
No, but... I was trying to explain that the other army was marching perpendicular to us. They were not marching towards us. This desert is filled with small armies always marching in different directions. We can't attack them all for no reason. And now my kitchen counter is demolished.
Oh, it'll grow back. So, I'm so excited to learn more about your research into the strange properties of this region. I think you once called this desert otherworld the most scientifically interesting community in the U.S.
Well, no, my exact words were...
So, when do you expect the results? Sounds like whatever you come up with could possibly be a monumental shift in how we perceive thermodynamic laws.
Well, I'm at my lab right now, hunched over my computer, waiting for it to complete its final report, then comparing its results to my thousands of handwritten notes from the past year. I believe I can pinpoint the exact source of this desert's energy. It shouldn't be long. Please don't rush me.
Great. Let us know soon, though. Sounds like Carlos is back on the line now. Did you get the results from your...
Doug and Alicia are back.
Oh, good! So wonderful to have dear friends around to be a part of your brilliant achievement.
Yeah, but they are in no condition to celebrate the great strides of scientific study right now. Most of the army returned from fighting, but there are more than a dozen who did not. Alicia lost 2 fingers, and Doug is bleeding quite badly because of a compound fracture in his forearm. Everyone who returned is in treatable condition. I believe they'll be fine. But they're wounded and need lots of rest. And no more fighting for a long time. It's a mess over here.
Good thing they have such a good and helpful friend in you. So, tell us about your study on the strange energy here in the desert.
I can't yet. The army came in so quickly, dropping their weapons everywhere, along with some detached limbs that I don't even think belong to them. And all of my journals, which I had left out and open on my desk, have been rendered unusable. There are broken beakers and blood-soaked composition notebooks everywhere. I don't even know where to begin cleaning up all of this blood. I'm sorry, did you just say something?
Nope. I just like your story. Carry on.
Doug, come back. Kevin, I have to go. Doug just constructed a makeshift splint out of rocks and snakes. He just grabbed his axe and ran out the back door. Ugh, and there goes Alicia. Stop going to war. You need rest. Call you back, Kevin. They can't go on like this.
Oh, and speaking of sunshine, Carlos just arrived here, live in the studio with me. Carlos, did you go out in this weather? You're covered in dust, and those look like friction burns in the shape of lab goggles on your face. Are you okay? Did Doug and Alicia make it back?
Not yet. What is this all over your studio? Is that barbecue sauce?
Oh, that? That's just blood. And some old bones, and loose teeth, and beaks, and things. I finally decorated. Thanks for noticing. And I just noticed you have a piece of paper in your hand. That must be your final report. Look at how we both notice things about each other. I love that.
Well...
You sound sad. Which is great news, because it means you'll be happy again eventually. It's a tough day, what with all the weather and the wars and the blood. But your boyfriend will soon be moving from Night Vale to come live here with you.
Well, about that...
And you finally had the scientific results of your hard scientific work.
I don't have results, Kevin. When the army marched out again, I went back to trying to recover my notes. I had just gotten the lab desktops clean when Alicia's large dog bounded through the lab and out the front door, sending every glass tube and jar crashing onto the floor. When I bent over to see the damage, I saw my computer there too, just on the tile, snapped nearly in half. A tuft of white fur covering the keyboard, singed slightly by the smoke streaking out of the broken monitor. I lost it all, Kevin. My entire year of study is gone.
What's the paper then? Did you at least learn some of your results?
This is nothing. It's, just a letter I wrote to a friend.
Oh, I love letters. Letters are so fun to receive.
Not this one. It's a sad letter. A letter about regrets, about mistakes. You know how sometimes you spend a lot of time with someone and you think that someone makes you happy, but then suddenly one day you realize maybe you weren't happy at all. Maybe you both would be better off doing what you love in different places, without each other. Maybe neither of you were as happy as either of you thought.
That is a sad-sounding letter. I don't understand, or like that at all.
I have spent the last year all wrong.
I believe in you, Carlos. Don't let destruction, blood, and war hold you back. You're a brilliant scientist.
I realize I need to just start everything over. Rededicate myself. I need to do it right this time. No more distractions. I can't spend another year like this one. So, it pains me to carry this letter, but I wrote it to set my boundaries.
So you know, there's no postal service here yet.
I know. That's why I'm hand delivering it.
Oh. Remember, no one should ever be sad. Choose not to be sad, Carlos. In fact, choose to be happy. Perhaps your letter is the first step to choosing happiness, even while it makes someone else sad.
I understand. Listen, I should go. I'm headed to Night Vale one final time. I need to talk to Cecil about, well, about some changes. Thanks for everything, Kevin. You've been so kind to me in this difficult year.
Goodbye, Carlos. Oh. It looks like Carlos left behind that letter he was supposed to hand deliver. I better not read it. No. Better not. Until next time, New Desert Bluffs. Until next time. Oh. Oh no. This is so sad. No. I don't like this. I am sad.
Mom said you were moving away. Why are you moving away, Uncle Cecil? Uncle Carlos says you don't have to move if you don't want to. Will you still come to my birthday party? Janice continued chattering, but I was dizzy at the name she had just said. I interrupted her. Carlos? Janice. Did you say Carlos? Duh. He's right over there, Uncle Cecil, she said. I turned, and I saw him, and he was already looking at me. And I started to say, and he started to say, and then we just hugged, so tightly. And in my ear, Carlos said, "Sorry, I missed the opera. I had to let Kevin know I was returning home and staying there." And I jerked my head back and said, "Staying here?" And Carlos said, "This is your home. You belong here." Then he said, "This is also my home. I belong here." Carlos, anywhere we're together is home, I said, and I repeated it. And repeated it. And I said, "But Carlos, is Night Vale where we should live? Is Night Vale even worth living in?" Carlos held my shoulder and said, "Night Vale is just a name, Cecil. Night Vale is just the name for an area where everyone you love lives," he said. "Don't worry about the name. Worry about the everyone," he said. At the end of the night, the car dropped Carlos and me back home, and I don't think we slept the whole night, talking about our new old life together, all these memories and plans. We are back together in our home, and I am back with you in my studio. My final show as host of Night Vale Community Radio was to be a review of an opera. And that's still true, someday. But it won't be this opera. Carlos and I are staying in Night Vale for now. I will be back on the air with you again very soon with more news and more stories, with more opera. I think Carlos is right. Night Vale isn't a single unified thing that can love or be loved. It's just the name slapped onto a set of borders and rules that some old bureaucrats wearing soft meat crowns devised centuries ago. But they don't live here anymore. We do. I do. And I can make it worth it. I can't just leave it. I have to live it. Live it and make it better. For myself, for Carlos, for my friends, for Abby and Steve and Janice, for old woman Josie and all of the Ericas, for Dana,